Hello and welcome to Who Are You? It's the Babylon 5 watchcast by a couple of former strangers, now friends, who are getting to know each other over one of their favorite shows from their childhood, Babylon 5. I'm Laura.
And I'm Xhafer.
And Xhafer, today I get to ask you, where are you going?
Well, where I'm going is I'm going to the motherland.
And where's the motherland, Xhafer?
Well, the source of my incredibly distinct name is my father's family, and they're all from Albania, which is where I'll be going for the first time in October.
Wow.
I'm very excited. I am a multi-generation American, North American through my Albanian family, so I'm not particularly... I have relatives there.
Uh-huh.
They're no one I've ever met. And I'm going with my sister, her boyfriend, who's also one of my college roommates.
Uh-huh.
I'm going. Beth is coming along. My uncle is going. My mom declined.
Okay.
It's not really her family or her people anyways.
Yeah.
And then I might have a couple of cousins. We had at one point about 75 people invited to this trip to Europe. And not many were able to accept for a number of reasons.
Sure. Yeah.
But I'm real excited. My sister's been once. My uncle's been about 10 times.
How does one get to Albania?
An airplane.
Well, is there just like an Albanian airport? What's the major city? Like, come on.
Yeah. No. I'll be flying in through the capital, Tirana.
Okay.
Which is a moderately... Albania is in the European Union. It is a NATO country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like...
But it's not large, correct?
No.
Okay.
No, it is not large. I will be seeing approximately half the country on my trip.
Yeah.
And that's taking it slow.
I've got to do this now because we just brought up the size. I need to know the square miles.
Oh, it's like Rhode Island sized.
Yeah.
It's tiny.
I love these European countries where you can get from like one side to the other side in like, I don't know, an hour.
Yeah. Well, it's mountainous where we'll be.
Okay. Well, that'll
So,
be pretty. That'll be nice.
I have a handful of spots picked out where I'm going to be hiking. There's a couple of really scenic places. The coast is like slowly becoming a very famous party place.
Ooh.
In Europe. Not quite Ibiza, but it's working its way there. So I'm going to be having a lot of fun there on that trip. We're doing 12 days in Albania, working our way through the southern region of it, which is where my family is from. My grandfather's family is from the capital. My grandmother's family is from a village of like 120, which is about how big it is currently. I've definitely got living relatives there.
Wow.
On the old family lot. My great uncle actually had a gravestone installed for him and his siblings there.
Wow.
None of them are buried there. They all died in North America.
Yeah.
But I'll probably go visit that.
Yeah. That's
while I'm
neat.
there. There's apparently the village specifically is like it has a cafe. I will walk in, be choked up by cigarettes, get a couple strange looks, and leave.
Yeah.
And then I will go to the nearest town where we're hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's all that. And then at the end of that 12 days, I'm going to Prague, and we're going to spend 4 days in Prague, and then we're going to come home.
That'll be really cool.
I am so excited.
Yeah.
It's so cheap there.
In Prague or just all both places
Oh,
in general?
Albania.
Yeah.
Albania is so cheap. Like
I bet.
5-star hotels are like $40 a night. Like, it is so cheap there. The dollar is so strong.
BRB, planning my next trip, going to Albania.
Right.
So they're not on the euro?
They are on the euro.
Oh, okay.
It's just the local level of like inflation and cost and everything.
Yeah.
Is like,
lower.
You have currency?
Yeah, I get it. Okay. Man.
Although I think I know that they're EU, but I don't think they really use the euro that much. I think they stick to, at the very least, it's preferred to use lek, I think.
Oh, okay.
Is the local. I was told that I didn't need to worry about it and that I would just show up and buy a bunch when I got there, and that was the way to do it.
And that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. English, not going to be super prevalent everywhere.
That was my next question. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is at this point, he is a friend of the family because he's the guide for all of my family when they go over. And to my knowledge, this is all he does.
Just like translate for people, take them around.
No, just my family.
Oh, just your family.
Just when someone from my family goes over, you go see Ollie. He takes care of you while you're there.
Neat.
And it's funny because he actually has a sister who lives about 15 miles away from me.
Wow.
Right? The world is so weird.
It is. That's the truth.
What are the fucking chances of that? Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a really fun trip.
Yeah.
And it will be the farthest away in miles I've ever been from home, probably.
Xhafer, that sounds like a long road.
It's been a long road.
There it is. That's right. We've got Crusade Episode 2, The Long Road in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
We open on some random humans doing stuff, and we see this giant CGI eyeball in their window.
Yeah, it gets like, we have this crew, they're doing something somewhere, and then things get really shaky. And the dude is screaming about, "It's back, call for help," and then opens the curtain to this giant, not great CGI eyeball. That part can't be stressed enough.
Yeah. We cut over to the Excalibur, where Gideon is on what is simultaneously the smallest and largest basketball court ever made.
My God, Xhafer. Aaron paused this because I was desperately trying to catch up my notes from the previous scene for a moment.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, you've got to see this. And it's very much that like the people, the humans are clustered in one side of the screen.
Yeah.
And then we CGI'd the rest of this to look like there's a gym behind them.
But it's like the perspective is all wrong. Like,
yeah,
this gym must be the size of like several football fields, the way that it's set up. Like, it just looked insanely massive to me for a basketball court. But we also only ever see anyone on about 5 feet of it.
Yeah. There's like one shot where we're like above Gideon on the basketball court, and you can see people on like exercise machines off behind him, and then the rest is just CGI background.
Empty space.
Yeah, and then
not even empty workout equipment.
We get Matheson talking to Gideon, so we get another shot from like their height. And behind Gideon is just blank space of like this awful tile pattern that goes on into eternity.
Right? Ad infinitum. It is just insane how big this gym is. I literally just was paused here and I'm just all like, how does this happen?
Right. Like, how did this pass quality control?
Yeah. But they're gonna move the plot forward some more here and go help these miners. As we cut over to the mobile infantry.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
Yes. Aaron paused here as well and said, tell me those aren't the helmets from Starship Troopers.
They are exactly the helmets from Starship Troopers. Actually, so fun little fact. Starship Troopers was one of the last big budget sci-fi films to do full, like, non-CGI outfits for people. And so they made thousands of these fucking helmets for extras. Because if you think about it, none of the humans in that movie, I believe, are CGI. And think of like the waves of people that you see at certain points of that movie.
Yeah.
Right? Thousands of extras they had to build these helmets for. And then like shoulder pads and bits of the armor that was visible. So around Hollywood for at least a decade after that film was made, this stuff was just floating around and super easy to get your hands on.
There's like a warehouse just full of old Starship Trooper gear. Like,
No,
oh,
this
you're
is the
doing
thing.
sci-fi? Here, come get some stuff.
Right? Like, yeah, it's like, when you got a big circle of friends and everyone's like having kids. It's all like, oh,
Yeah.
it's your turn. Here's all the baby clothes that all of your friends' kids had.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that. But for sci-fi helmets, you can Google this. Like, you can Google like Starship Troopers, sci-fi extended universe, or like proper usage and stuff, and just see all of the crazy places this shit turned up, because it's much more than you expect.
Would you like to know more?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fun. I really like that. Reduce, reuse, recycle, people. Yeah.
For sure.
Good choices.
They're perfectly good sci-fi helmets. There's no reason to not reuse them.
Yeah.
And it's podcasting gold for us. So
And here they're going to face off against our CGI dragon to theme.
this looks like it's straight out of Reboot to me. That's how bad this CGI is.
Yeah, it's not good. It could be a lot better.
I think PlayStation 1 had better graphics.
Yeah.
Like, this is if Lara Croft Tomb Raider had to fight a dragon and they forgot to render the dragon for Tomb Raider 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Like,
bad.
I mean, maybe I'm having a little bit of bias because we are playing through Baldur's Gate right now, and that's some fantastic graphics.
That game is so good.
Have we had any dragons yet in Baldur's Gate? We have not. I don't know if dragons show up in Baldur's Gate. And
I've played a lot of that game. I'm not going to say anything.
they've sure been mentioned a lot because Tiamat and whatever. But yeah, I feel like that having that perspective of like playing this game at the same time you're looking at the CGI dragon.
Like, I've been playing Dwarf Fortress lately, which is notoriously low res, like old school graphics.
Uh-huh.
Still feels better than this.
Yeah. It's a golden dragon, which is important to a plot point.
Yes. Not just because Galen's a total D&D nerd. and knows that golden dragons are good dragons. Metallic dragons are good guys. So
Yeah.
we're fine.
As we hopped into the next scene, I remembered that our good friend Victor from last time on would be pretty pissed because Gideon is reading a paper report on the dragon attack to Galen.
Yeah.
Where do we get paper in space? One of the great mysteries.
So Galen and Gideon go over to the Medusa.
Oh, I didn't catch the ship's name. Everything was going a little fast for me, making notes, you know?
Yeah. I didn't get the ship's name until later in the episode. I left it blank.
Yeah.
I do that a lot in my notes. I'll be like, oh, missed it. Just blank. They'll tell us later, or it won't be important, and I won't say anything.
Yeah. So that's smart. That's smart.
But yeah, it's an Earth Force destroyer, and they catch them up on their strip mining of the planet for its antiviral mineral that also extends everyone's lifespan.
Oh, I didn't catch the lifespan thing. Okay.
How they figured out that there was something to even look for here is the average lifespan on this planet is 15 years longer than anywhere else in Earth space, despite them having no technology.
Yeah, we've already established that like Earth lifespans are already longer because Bester's like like 100 years
Yeah.
old or something in our book.
100 years old and getting down in Paris.
Yeah. Yeah, this society is a real like up the long ladder situation. If you remember that episode of The Next Generation, it's that's the Space Irish episode.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
They're not like
Yeah.
racist caricatures of anything, but they are like a medieval society that has shunned all technology and they're doing the whole agrarian thing.
Yeah.
But they're like a human colony that decided like we're going to get rid of everything that got us here
Yeah.
and just hang out and farm stuff.
Not spoil this fucking planet.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, if we lived in Babylon 5 universe, my option one for me is Technomage. If Technomage isn't available, it's this.
Yeah.
Go be an agrarian colonist somewhere and just live.
There's just like nothing in between. Either I am the most technological or I am the least.
I'm not interested in any of the middle ground. I've done
Fair.
enough fucking updates of Windows to not be interested in that lifestyle.
I mean, the Babylon 5 future, like a Star Trek future, I don't know why you would choose the agrarian stuff, but a Babylon 5 future, I can kind of get that, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Star Trek, I'm doing something different with my time for sure.
Yeah, there's more things, more fun to be had.
You got a lot more options.
Yeah, yeah.
Like fucking in the holodeck. Man, so I've been rewatching Voyager, and I forgot how horny they get about holodeck fucking in that show.
I had forgotten too, because I watched it when I was quite young.
Yeah. I'm in season 6, and they've got the Irish town.
Yes, Fairhaven.
I just watched a couple of those episodes. It's just like, man. Even Chakotay's all like, well, yeah, but you fuck holograms, right? Because it's totally normal to fuck a hologram. I'm just like, oh, shit. Okay.
I have always told people that my favorite Star Trek was Deep Space Nine, but then when I was rewatching Voyager, I was like, oh, could I be wrong? Was it maybe actually Voyager all along? I don't know. No, I still love Deep Space Nine. I won't give that up.
I mean, I'm always just going to be a TNG fanboy, but that has a lot more to do with like that show's place in my personal history than anything else.
I think that is true for everybody, actually. And
oh, yeah,
whether or not you recognize it, yeah, that's okay. But
yeah, the same thing happens with Final Fantasy games. Everyone's favorite Final Fantasy game is the first one that they really got into, regardless of when that was or how much they played it.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Anyways, so they go down after Galen gets Gideon some normie clothes.
Yeah, Galen kind of takes this whole thing over. He's like, oh, well, us two are just going to go down. No guards, no military stuff. We're going to do it in plain clothes. Like, let us try to handle this first. And the EA captain is not like super into that.
Yeah, but fuck him. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Galen kind of hints that he might know what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I got an inkling. And he's like, so you going to tell me if I'm right? And what if you're wrong? Well, that's not going to happen. It's all like, okay, dude.
I like Galen, though. I really do.
Tunas? Is that the name of this drink that he ordered?
Oh, so we watch it with the subtitles on because I need that. And I think they're just called like Toonies or something.
Okay.
It's not tuna. I think it's Toonie.
Toonies?
Yeah, it was definitely
so
spelled
Canadian
with like
$2 coin.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah, they've got loonies and toonies. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. It's real good. They've like stumbled into the Firefly set or costumes or something. Mm-hmm. Like it's not totally medieval, but it's definitely like leaning medieval Western, like on this planet.
For sure.
Gideon makes the classic mistake of overpaying for his beers in a foreign place.
Oh, man. What a rube, right?
Indeed.
What's that even mean? I need to look up the etymology of that word before I say it.
Rube?
Rube. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that actually comes from.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I've stumbled into that for sure. But it's one of those things like the word gets so far from the original meaning that it's almost divorced of it and you don't have any context anymore.
An abbreviation of the name Reuben.
So it's racist against Reubens.
It's racist against Reubens. Okay.
Reuben's a good sandwich. I really like a Reuben sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I get down on a Reuben. Mm-hmm. I like Thousand Island.
Yeah, me too. On a sandwich?
Yeah. On a burger? I literally don't get anything besides Thousand Island on a burger these days. Why would I bother with anything else?
Yeah.
It's not going to be as good. Ketchup and mustard, get out of here. Mayo, please.
Have you ever done your Reuben with turkey? Like if you're trying to watch your gay cows or something? Love a turkey
Reubens. Mm-hmm.
So good. This has been Reuben Cast.
Right. Look, there's not a whole lot of show for us to talk about here. You want an hour-long episode, this is the content you can expect from Crusade.
For real.
Lord knows the show isn't doing us any favors here by making us talk about it.
Yeah. So, because Gideon overpaid for his beers, he really overplayed his hand, and the townspeople know that they are not one of us. But in addition to being like out of towners, they're also like probably out of planeters.
Yeah.
And they try to intimidate Gideon and Galen here in this inn, but they're interrupted by lightning and thunder and wind. Obviously another technomage at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. Alwyn shows up through the fog machines. I like to think that, like, they talk about, like, their advanced technology and stuff. It is just fog machines and, like, light shows, right? They're just, like, effectively, like, middle school dance DJs.
Yeah. We've seen, one technomage before in Babylon 5, or did we actually have 2 technomages? I forget. But,
just Ulrich.
Yeah.
And he's important for later.
Yeah.
He comes back in this episode.
We had him, and now we have Galen, and we have Alwyn. And all technomages do, as far as I can tell so far, is hollow demons.
They fucking love their hollow demons, which comes up in a scene later in this episode that I actually really liked.
Yeah. So he's doing the like bluff. He's passed his bluff check to make a D&D reference. And he says, well, these guys are mine. That coin that gave them away, that was supposed to be the signal to give them to me. Like, get out of my way. I'll take care of this,
So they all leave. They catch up a little. Galen calls Alwyn out on the gold dragon being like his calling card.
Yeah. That made sense, though. I was like, at least there was a reason that Galen like hopped to it to get involved in this.
Yeah. And Alwyn has them over for dinner. We learn that he is a former technomage. He's been removed from the order. He stayed in the galaxy as a protest when the others decided to leave instead of participate in the Shadow War.
Yeah. This was interesting. And I really wanted them to like connect the dots between him getting kicked out for staying here during the Shadow War and like the responsibility he feels to these people. Like he's got some like survivor's guilt about not having been able to do more in the Shadow War. Not explored at all.
Yet.
Oh.
Just hold on.
Okay. All right.
There is more about the technomages and the leaving for the Shadow War to come.
Okay. All right.
We get there's very specific reasoning for why.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah. So Alwyn makes clear that from his perspective, he's tried everything to end this peacefully. And it's like, look, when they show up with guns, they're leaving in boxes. And then, as he says this, Ice Cube's Natural Born Killers just starts playing in the background. Everyone puts on sunglasses, gets a lean on. Yeah, it's good stuff. I really like that scene with the Ice Cube. The locals move in the night to halt the mining operation shortly thereafter here. They kidnap a ton of people.
Yeah, hostages. Let's talk fonts. Let's font cast this again.
Let's font cast. This is the exact moment I knew you were going to want to talk about. I knew immediately because the villagers like stab a note through the wall with a knife. Which, have you ever done that before?
No, but it seems probably like one of those things that's not as easy as it always looks in the movies. Yeah.
Oh, it's totally as easy as it always looks.
Oh,
it's super easy. As long as you got a decent knife, it's very easy.
Sure. I've probably never had a decent knife.
I have done this. I have also had a friend do this at an apartment drunk off their ass in college. And it's especially noteworthy because he decided to do it by the front door and he did it right above the power box.
Ooh.
Which is like we were all just like everything was fine. He missed all the wires, but he just threw a knife through it right there to put a note up at one point.
Yeah.
Terrifying in retrospect.
I want to know a couple of things about this.
Yeah, let's talk.
Where did this agrarian society get a printer? Because this is clearly a font.
That is the exact thing I have written in my notes, Laura.
The other thing is, where did they get access to the Harry Potter font?
Those movies weren't even out yet.
Yeah, that's what this is. Oh, maybe this is like an early, we're testing fonts for the next
Yeah.
big magic book. I don't know.
Hey, Turner was part of Time Warner. Warner Brothers made Harry Potter.
Oh,
If
yeah.
that font's proprietary, it might actually just been like lurking in a database for them to use.
Crusade is now canonical Harry Potter.
How you gonna fuck this one up, Joanne? Fuck you. Anyways,
This note made me laugh. There's
this
just
note
a
is
lot of
so
reasons.
absurd.
Like, why didn't you have somebody handwrite this, like, in a big marker? Like, come on.
The only way this would have been better, in my opinion, is if it was the like super stereotypical like cut together newspaper magazine stuff.
Sure, yeah.
Because you know that society doesn't have those things.
Well, maybe they have a subscription to Vogue. Like, you don't know.
Space Vogue.
Cosmo.
They don't even have to change their name.
I hope Cosmo makes it into 2270 whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just for funs.
I really want Cosmo to turn into a spacefaring magazine.
Me too.
It's so good. Anyways, we learn that Galen was Alric's apprentice.
Yeah, we remember him.
Yep, he's the one who fucked with Veer back on B5. We learned that Galen's parents were both technomages as well. Another fucking Nepo baby.
Oh, yeah.
You just get inducted in the order when your parents are fucking technomages. You just get born into your billion-dollar lifestyle, Galen. Instead of having to fucking earn it like the rest of us.
Well, so far all we've seen of techno-mages is like middle-aged to old bald men, and it is kind of nice. White, too. Yeah, it is kind of nice to know that theoretically, well, we don't know that Galen's parents were mom and dad, but maybe women are allowed to be techno-mages too.
Yeah. My headcanon right now is this is just what happens to Bezos.
Yeah.
Like, everyone who's super rich in the future, by the time you get to Babylon 5, like, instead of inheriting wealth, you just become a technomage, and that's just how you flaunt your wealth around.
Yeah, yeah. That's what Elon and Bezos are all gunning for, right? They want to be technomages.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Bezos already's got the haircut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The haircut is most of it, right?
For sure. It's haircuts and robes. Word makes it to Gideon about the miners being held by the locals, and we see the asshole captain send down his lieutenant and some mobile infantry to handle it.
Yeah. He's gung-ho. He's like, this is how you earn your stripes, bro. Like, get down there and bust some heads. Combat.
Yeah. You need some combat experience if you ever go be promoted, son.
Yeah. Ugh.
They fly through the dragon on their way down. And we've got, I just call him, I didn't write down his actual name. I'm calling him Lieutenant JGDB because he's junior grade douchebag.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
He pushes all the locals at the inn down and starts making demands as Alwyn and Galen show up in the inn. No quicker does he say not to worry, they're all holograms, than does he get socked in the face by one.
Yeah.
Perfection.
I do like that. That's got like overtones of Londo and the Hollow Demons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was here for it.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Alwyn and Galen are just watching this demon program destroy everything. And they're just like talking shop during this whole thing. Like they're just completely ignoring what it's actually doing. It's under control, whatever, right? And they're just like talking about like the actual design and writing of the program and code and stuff in a very nonchalant manner while it is running roughshod over everyone.
Yes.
I have had this conversation. I have been in a like security session. So in managed service provider world, one thing that we offer for our clients that they usually take us up on is security testing. So we'll do something called a pen test, and that could be a phishing attempt or whatever, right? Like we fake a phishing email and send it to you, so then we know who clicks it, so that we can yell at those people, right?
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
Very common.
And so I have been in a like war room at the start of like an aggressive pen test that we were conducting on one of our clients. And we're just like watching it run across their network as we're just sitting here talking about what it's doing very nonchalantly. And I was just transported back to that moment of my life while watching this conversation take place.
This is a very Babylon 5 conversation. Like, you could see Zach
sure.
and Garibaldi sitting there having conversation during something crazy happening, or Lockley and Sheridan having this conversation. Like, this is that kind of dialogue that I missed, and we're not getting nearly enough of.
Agreed. Over on the Medusa, Lieutenant JGDB reports that the mission failed and that they are now all also hostages.
Oops. I want more of Lieutenant JGDB.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't do it. It's all yours.
It is 6 letters in my notes, too, because I abbreviate the lieutenant. So it's LTJGDB.
Love it. Yeah, I want more of his like lower decks journey now. Like, things aren't going well for you after you get taken hostage on the mission to take back the hostages, right?
Right.
You're gonna be scrubbing some decks, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Over at Allwin's, the barkeep, also resistance leader, wants to press their advantage as Allwyn says they must let the hostages go, and this is when his daughter collapses.
Yeah, apparently the antiviral dust, not so good for the lungs.
Yeah. Yeah, they take her up to the Excalibur for their med bay, where our doctor, who I'm sure is an interesting character, will handle things, but we don't get to find out anything more about that person.
Yeah.
Allwyn lectures the colonists with some indignation here. He's going to settle this his way. The Excalibur and the Medusa talk as Galen radios in to describe Allwyn's plan here. He has set himself up in the mine, and he's going to use the circular nature of the mine as a reflection chamber to make a beam that is going to destroy the Medusa.
Yeah, Gideon in between, like we're glossing over. Gideon is really trying. Like he's saying like you've got to stop mining this stuff right now. It's killing their kids. Like, there needs to be a different solution. And the Earth Force captain is just like, no, I'm not going to do that. Earth needs this stuff more than these people's lives are worth, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't even know that this is going to be that helpful against the Dark Plague. I'm like, that's such a weak argument, Dick.
Agreed. I mean, they do say that the mineral has been showing promise in trials back home. That's all we hear of it, though. Like,
yeah, it's so vague. Also, what's happening to the girl is very vague. Like, they're just like, oh, you know, you have to adjust to small quantities of the mineral over your whole life. And she's been exposed to too much through the dust in the air, and now she's dying. And it's like, well, what's happening? Are her lungs failing? Is it building up in her blood? Like, can we get some more, like, details? Otherwise, I just feel like we're just kind of glossing over it, and it's not important.
How does this stuff work? Is it replacing her white blood cells? Like, is her body, is it attacking her whole body now? Like, just a line. A line is not hard.
Yeah.
And one of my classic metrics of how good an episode is. So we'll talk about that later, though.
Good point. Continue.
So the Excalibur and the Medusa are talking. The captain of the Medusa here begs Gideon to just fucking fire the lasers down on the surface to kill Allwyn before he can blow up their ship. Like, you would let these men and women die? And he, at this point, he just needs to be all like, well, you could just say you're going to move the mine and he'll stop.
Yeah. Sounds like you're going to let these men and women die.
Right. But this is the plan, though. Obviously, this is the plan.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah.
Is this the gun that's firing the, like, gun where we can't move afterwards? Or is this just, like, regular guns?
This is the gun that you can't move afterwards because it comes from the arms. When it's the Death Star and it's the lasers that become the big laser, that's the gun you can't fire afterwards. When it's just The normal guns, it's only at the front of the ship.
Okay. I feel like that should be clearer. Like,
They showed us that in Call to Arms when they're blowing up the
Yeah.
asteroids.
I don't know that it was super. Maybe I wasn't watching close enough because, we're trying to take notes at the same time.
I'm also
So-
making excuses for a terrible TV show, so fuck me. Like,
Yeah. No. I mean,
they
like,
could
I
also
just-
explain it.
Yeah, I feel like if it was just one scene versus another scene, I easily missed it because I was making notes. Like if we
Yeah.
saw the guns fire and they were just straightforward, and then he's like, "No, more power," and now it's Death Star. Yeah, I totally missed that. So I was like, okay, what's happening? Like, is this the
I would
big
argue
gun?
that you've missed nothing.
Indeed. Okay, so we've destroyed the mine at the same time as we've destroyed
Blast
Alwyn.
that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got to move the mine now. So guess what, dude? Like, if you just agreed to move the mine, same effect here.
Right? Gideon and the barkeep discuss the colonists are going to help the miners find a new location that is safe,
Yeah. They feel
thus
a little
protecting
guilty.
them as well. And we learn Alwyn wasn't dead because, of course, he waxes philosophical about kind of like the point of living, like entering living memory, becoming legend, living on past your death.
Yeah.
That stuff.
And it was like time to leave these people because they specifically said in one of their heated moments, like, we don't need reason. We have this guy. And he's
Yeah.
like, no, they're abandoning reason because of my power. So it's time for me to go.
Yep.
I thought that was a really powerful message, actually, within this episode.
I would agree.
Because I definitely feel like people around me have abandoned reason because of the power they think they have from their religion, and then the power that they have actually from the systems around them. And it's like, I would like a little more reason, please. Somebody, anybody.
Please. Please, fuck. We just had to watch those two old fucks debate.
I didn't watch it. I couldn't do it, man.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing?
I saw a TikTok the other day that has made me laugh more than anything else in the last several weeks. And it was a guy in the mirror, and he's just fucking tired, right? He's just so exhausted. He's all like, it's happening again. Somehow we have to choose between these two fucks again. It's like we're cursed. It's like we built this country on an ancient Indian burial ground.
Oh.
I'm just like, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Anyways, the show. I hope you're here for anything but Crusade Pod.
I mean, this show, it's so hard. So yeah, we've been talking in the forest. We've got to leave. Alwyn's gonna get back on the long road.
It's been a long road.
I am kind of so originally, listener Ben was going to join us for this episode. And
Is he gonna sing us the song?
Well, that's the only reason he wanted this episode. Like, he has never seen Crusade, and so he's all like, "Oh, what are the episode titles? Oh, that one I can make a Star Trek Enterprise joke. Give me that one." Literally what he said to me.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think he actually would have really enjoyed talking shit about this episode with us.
Oh yeah.
This has been a very Ben-coded episode.
Yeah. It leans hard into that like medieval fantasy stuff, which I love the fantasy part of Babylon 5. Like, a lot of sci-fi is just grounded in hard science, right? But in Babylon 5, there's some fantastical, some mysterious, unexplained, science indistinguishable from magic, like the techno mages and then the first ones and whatever. And I like that. I think the show is trying to lean into it and it's not doing it.
Yeah, it's trying. It's trying real hard. It's trying so hard that it's time to rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 4 main guns fired.
Okay, well, You've already alluded to your scale about dialogue, so let's go ahead and get your opinion.
Fair enough. As I have stated countless times over the course of this podcast, if I feel like I could make the episode better with one line of dialogue to fix the thing with the plot, to just explain just a little bit more than was explained, that drops it a whole rating for me.
Yeah.
That said, this episode was stupid fun. I really actually genuinely enjoyed this episode of Crusade.
Okay.
It's not good,
Uh-huh.
but it was fun. It's fun in the way that you watch a B movie. And of everything we've seen between the other episode and Call to Arms so far, that moment with Galen and Alwyn talking about stuff calmly while shit was going everywhere felt very trademark B5 to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good moment.
And so I would probably start this episode at a 3 out of 4 guns.
Mm-hmm.
And after my point reduction penalty, I'm going to say it's 2 out of 4 main guns.
Okay. I like that because we're a little bit flip-flopped on this one, and I'm not sure how it happened.
Yeah,
but
did you hate this?
I didn't hate it. That's too strong. This one I felt much more... I felt very indifferent to it.
Okay.
Like, we were having trouble staying awake during this one, and immediately afterwards, I needed a nap. Like, we finished this episode, and then I took an hour nap. So I think I'm going to give this 1 main guns for 1 hour nap.
Okay. Well, all that said, next week we're skipping ahead to episode 8, Appearances and Other Deceits. What a JMS fucking episode title.
Oh, yeah. That's true. That's classic, too.
Gideon must outwit an alien consciousness that takes over the Excalibur's crew.
Oh, no.
This also, from that description, sounds like a good episode.
Uh-huh.
How will Crusade disappoint me this time?
It sounds like a very TNG episode, doesn't it?
It does. That's a
I'm
good
sure
call
we've
out.
done this in Star Trek several times.
Yeah, most assuredly.
Every season. I can picture this in TNG, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager, and I'm sure someone in the Discord can give me the exact episodes, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is in that field house for sure. You know what else is in our field house? Saying thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jeremy Siegel, for our lovely theme music. You can find more of Jeremy's work at jeremysiegel42.bandcamp.com and on your favorite streaming services as Nuclear Jaguar.
Yeah, and thank you to Angry Duck Time Machine on Instagram for our podcast artwork.
Aaron, this is probably actually the softball we're throwing here.
Yeah, this one's a little better.
Thanks so much for editing the podcast. Appreciate your contribution.
And thank you to you, the listener, for being here on this crusade with us. Why didn't I say that last time? God damn it. Yeah.
Remember it for next up.
If you want to talk about any thoughts you have on Crusade, you can join us in the Discord or send those to whoareyoub5@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you.
And we'll see you next week, Internet.
Bye.
Bye.